When Jessica Sanchez stepped back onto the stage of America's Got Talent in 2025, it was more than a performance. It was the closing of a circle 20 years in the making. She wasn't there to chase a forgotten dream. She wasn't there for a second shot at fame. She was carrying the weight of her history, the hopes of her family, and the future of her unborn daughter. This wasn't the wide-eyed 10-year-old America had met in 2006. This was a 30-year-old woman, 9 months pregnant, who had lived through the brutal highs and lows of the music industry. She wasn't searching for applause. She was standing in front of millions with a different goal: redemption. With every note she sang, Sanchez reminded the world of a simple truth. An artist's journey is rarely straight. It's filled with detours, heartbreak, and unexpected turns. And sometimes the timing has to be just right. Jessica Sanchez's story began on that same AGT stage almost 2 decades earlier. In 2006, she was just a little girl from Chula Vista, California, who stunned the judges with a powerhouse rendition of Celine Dion's I Surrender. Her voice, raw yet controlled, sounded far too big for her small frame. America noticed. She didn't win. In fact, her run ended in the semifinals. For a child who had poured everything into that moment, the elimination was heartbreaking. But the seed was planted. The stage had introduced her to the world, and it lit a fire in her that would never fully go out. That loss, though painful, became the spark for a lifelong dream. 6 years later, in 2012, Jessica returned to the national spotlight. This time, she appeared on American Idol. Now 16, she was no longer a little girl. She was a teenager with a voice that felt destined for history. Week after week, she tackled some of the biggest songs ever recorded, including Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, and Beyoncé, and she did so with a maturity far beyond her years. Her journey nearly ended too soon. During the top 7 week, America shocked the judges by voting her out. But the judges weren't ready to let her go. In one of the most dramatic moments in Idol history, they unanimously used their single save of the season to keep her in the competition. She would go on to finish as the runner-up to Philip Phillips. For many of her fans, she was the true star of the season. Her talent was undeniable, but second place can be both a blessing and a curse. In the wake of Idol, Jessica's life turned into a whirlwind. She signed a record deal with Interscope Records, released her debut album, Me, You, and the Music in 2013. She even made appearances on Glee and performed at events such as the Democratic National Convention. It looked like the dream was coming true, but behind the scenes, cracks were forming. Her album failed to make the commercial splash her label had hoped for, and not long after, she quietly parted ways with Interscope. For Jessica, the experience was draining. She had been pushed and pulled in different directions, molded into what the industry thought she should be, rather than who she truly was. Years later, she admitted that the process left her disillusioned. "Throughout the years, I kind of fell out of love with music," she revealed. "I was really young, and I was so swayed by what everyone wanted me to be, who they wanted me to be." So she stepped back. Instead of clinging to a version of fame that no longer felt authentic, Jessica retreated from the spotlight. She chose to rediscover herself, not just as an artist, but as a person. That time away, which at first felt like a setback, became a gift. Where so many reality show winners are forced to churn out albums and chase chart success until they burn out, Jessica had an exit ramp. She wasn't saddled with the relentless pressure of being the winner. Instead, she had space to grow up, live life, and figure out what kind of artist she really wanted to be. The failure to win Idol became the foundation for a much deeper kind of success down the road. When Jessica walked onto the America's Got Talent stage again in 2025, the audience wasn't meeting a prodigy this time. They were meeting a woman. She was 30 years old, living in Houston, married, and most significantly pregnant with her first child. Her return wasn't about chasing lost fame. It was about reclaiming her passion, this time on her own terms. "Maybe it took me 20 years, she said before her audition. But I know exactly who I am. I know exactly what I want. I'm excited to be back." Her pregnancy wasn't a side note to the story. It was the heart of it. Performing while 9 months pregnant was a first for AGT, and it gave her performances a gravity and purpose no one could ignore. She wasn't singing to impress judges. She was singing for her daughter. From the moment Jessica opened her mouth at her audition, she reminded the world of her rare gift. She chose Benson Boone's Beautiful Things, a song about gratitude and the fear of loss. Singing it for her unborn child, her voice carried both tenderness and power. The performance earned her Sofia Vergara's Golden Buzzer, sending her straight to the live shows under a shower of confetti. By the quarterfinals, Jessica was 8 months pregnant. She admitted she was nervous her changing body might affect her stage presence. But when she sang Alex Warren's Ordinary, she proved that pregnancy was no obstacle. She delivered a soaring, heartfelt performance that America voted through to the next round. The semifinals pushed her even harder. Taking on JVKE's Golden Hour, she poured every ounce of strength into her performance. Simon Cowell praised her resilience and told her, "You've never given up over all of these years. And importantly, you are very, very likable." Afterward, Jessica glanced down at her belly and joked, "Please just stay in there another week." It was a vulnerable, human moment that made millions fall in love with her all over again. Then came the finals. Jessica chose Die with a Smile, the sweeping 2024 ballad by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Her performance left the judges and audience on their feet. Howie Mandel called it the best act of the night. Simon Cowell added, "I felt there was an extra 10% from you, maybe because actually there are two of you." On September 24, 2025, a visibly emotional, 9 months pregnant Jessica Sanchez was crowned the winner of America's Got Talent Season 20. Her final competition was fierce. The runner-up, freestyle rapper Chris Turner, wowed audiences with his lightning-fast wit. Jordan Blue, a soulful street performer from New Orleans, had earned Howie Mandel's golden buzzer. Other finalists included the Leo High School Choir from Chicago and the Brazilian dance group Lightwire. But in the end, Jessica's story and voice cut through. In a season filled with spectacle, she reminded everyone that sometimes one voice, paired with one story, is all it takes to move millions. Winning AGT brought Jessica the $1 million prize and a Las Vegas headlining opportunity. But the real prize was waiting at home, her daughter. For Jessica, the win wasn't just about a title, it was about reclaiming her artistry. With financial freedom and cultural capital, she no longer had to bend to industry pressures. She could write her own music in her own home studio, on her own terms. She has spoken about feeling a rush of inspiration again, wanting to create songs about her journey, her struggles, and most of all, her daughter. Unlike her earlier years, she now has the maturity and perspective to turn pain and triumph into art. Jessica Sanchez's story is not just a comeback. It's a testament to resilience, timing, and the courage to take control of your own narrative. From the little girl eliminated in the semifinals of AGT, to the teen prodigy nearly winning Idol, to the disillusioned artist who stepped away, to the pregnant champion who returned to sing for two, her journey embodies what it means to fall, get back up, and come back stronger. Her victory proves something bigger than winning a talent show. It proves that it's never too late to return to a dream, and that sometimes the detours are what make the final destination so meaningful.